Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 9 of the Future Money Show. Wow, we're up to 9 episodes already. It's pretty crazy. Shout out to Crypto Moonboy for coming on to the show last time. It was a great conversation. It was great to hear all the knowledge that he has in the space, and we really appreciate him coming on, and we hope that he'll come on again and drop some more bombs of knowledge. So today we talked about Walmart and what they're doing in the metaverse, which is really crazy. So please stay tuned for that. We talked about, our advice as usual and what we see going on in the market. And overall, this is a really good episode as usual. So please enjoy. Thank you.
This is the Future Money Show.
All right, well, jumping into this episode right away. This is episode 9. It's crazy that we're on episode 9 already. That does not seem like it's been that long. It seems like we just started.
Facts.
There's a lot of big stuff in the world going on right now that we have to talk about. But before we jump into all the news, how have you been doing, at least just in this world of COVID?
Taking it day by day. But yeah, so like the UK has dialed back restrictions like quite a bit. So the mask mandate will be gone.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, reduced quarantine as well. So and they say hopefully by around March that everything will be gone. So, that'll be good. Other parts of Europe, I'm not really too sure about yet, but I'm seeing that like Israel apparently is getting rid of their green pass. You needed one of those in order to enter the country. And some other places are starting to dial back restrictions slowly but surely. So I saw the US as well. They're saying that you don't need mandatory vaccinations now in order to go back to work, which is good. They're kind of pulling back on those mandates. I saw something, and we actually touched on this very lightly. Like how you have the truckers, like that's like the distribution basically. Yeah. They were telling them that they needed to get like vaccinated or whatever. And
truckers?
Yeah, and they had
weird.
they had a big standoff about that on the Canadian border, which is, you can't really disrupt that supply chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. So, I don't know why they would require truckers. They're not like next to anybody,
No, exactly.
But yeah, I was hoping that this time around it wouldn't be so restrictive. They started to up the restrictions a little bit, but with how contagious this variant is, it's going around everywhere so fast that I'm glad it's not as strict, or at least it seems like it's not as bad.
Yeah, everyone's gonna not saying everyone, whoever doesn't get it, but I feel like everyone's gonna probably get this at some point.
For sure. I feel like everyone I know has already had it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I know anyone who hasn't now. But yeah, okay. So jumping into the first news event, huge acquisition in the business world. Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion.
Big.
Massive amount of numbers.
Big. That is big.
And Microsoft is going big dick energy too. They paid all cash. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did actually.
68.7 billion in cash. Usually when like companies do acquisitions that are huge like that, it's not usually all cash. It's like, here's some stock, here's some cash, here's some, we'll pay off some of your debt, but they're paying all cash, which is crazy. It shows you how much Microsoft values their own stock. To not even want to give it away.
Facts, bro. The crazy part about that is, that starts a monopoly, right? Because Activision is like one of the biggest companies in the world when it comes to the gaming world.
Yeah.
So basically now Microsoft will now own Call of Duty, which is like one of the biggest games ever.
I had the list here. They'll own Minecraft. These are just some of them. Minecraft, the Skyrim, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft. Those are all games that they basically just acquired, which
major.
68.7 billion is a huge number. But 10 years down the line, that's going to seem cheap. It's going to seem cheap.
I'm like thinking about it right now, and it's like that is major, like very major.
Mm-hmm. So that makes Microsoft the third largest video game publisher in the world by revenue, because they have Xbox.
I don't know if
they got all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. I don't know if the SEC is going to let that buy go through though.
See,
I think they might say that's the thing.
I think it already went through. That's the thing is, I don't know why people at least aren't talking like antitrust stuff, because that's like a huge acquisition. Google and Apple, you don't even hear about most of their acquisitions because they're like 500 million, 1 billion, 800 million. But this is massive. So I don't know. It's interesting. So another. Let's see.
Crazy.
So the next news event that I was going to talk about was about Walmart. I don't know if you heard, but Walmart, I saw like multiple headlines like Walmart entering the metaverse. So I wanted to look into it and see what they were doing. So it seems like they're creating their own cryptocurrency, and on top of that, they're also going to release a line of NFTs.
Yeah.
So I guess is it that they're going to have a cryptocurrency that you can use strictly at Walmart? Is that kind of
probably to make their purchases and stuff like that? It's kind of like what Facebook was trying to do with their Libra coin. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
I didn't hear about that.
So Facebook was making a coin called Libra coin, or called the Libra. And that was going to be their currency of how you can transact on their platform. Now, seeing as they have a metaverse, it can make sense why they probably do that. With Walmart, Walmart's probably going to use VeChain, to be honest. That's probably going to be what they build their currency on.
Interesting. What's the benefit of doing that? Is it that not only do you get the value that they pay you in it, is it that when they turn it into a token, it can like appreciate on its own, so it like makes it even more profitable? Does that make sense? I just don't know what the benefit of. I guess one benefit could be like rewards programs, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
But I was thinking about it, like, what benefit does Walmart have from obviously they're going to sell NFTs, which they'll make money from that, but just from creating their own crypto to use in their store.
They'll control the supply. Like that would be majority in charge of the supply.
Yeah, I guess my only thought is that with a crypto being like an appreciating asset, maybe it'll just increase their profits when especially when they can like control the supply, like you're saying, and
but I mean,
probably control the price.
True, but post regulation it'll be somewhat stable. Like what Nick said last video, you're not going to get thousands of % gains or whatever. So it'll just be fluctuation, but it won't be like anything crazy. But Walmart has already came out and said that they're going to use VeChain's technology basically to verify their products along the supply chain. So they'll probably build a currency on VeChain's platform.
You think that'll make VeChain's price skyrocket?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Probably. It's at like 7 cents or something.
Yeah,
7 or 8 cents.
So.
Speaking of regulation, Jerome Powell and the Fed are set to release an 800-page report on how they're thinking of regulating crypto into the future. So that's going to be huge news for a lot of these crypto projects. I know that it's predicted that the report is going to be somewhat progressive and in favor of digital currencies and things like that. I know the Fed has been trying to create their own digital currency for a while now.
Fed coins.
Yeah. So and that would be a coin that's issued by the federal government, not by like USDC or Tether or whatever, an exchange.
It would be built on USDC though. It'd be in partnership with Circle.
It would.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I guess when that comes out, we've been waiting on regulation for a while. So it's great that we're now starting to see some advancement in it. So I think it'll be a lot for our projects, the ones that we're invested in. The regulation is going to be huge.
For sure. I personally believe that, I hate to say this, but I feel like the SEC honestly is just a distraction, and there's a lot of corruption in the SEC. Like, I mean, it's clear as day. Like I can send whoever wants as many articles to prove that, or let you decide for yourself. But I think it's going to come down, you're right, to the Fed and the OCC are going to be the two governing bodies that put these regulations into play.
Mm-hmm.
or any progressive movement in that direction, at least.
Yeah, it's like all the utility projects, they're just sitting there waiting for regulation to come because
Every single one.
yeah,
Every
it'll allow for mainstream adoption of these things.
Exactly. And talking about mainstream adoption now, that's a perfect segue into what I wanted to say. Did you see that Google partnered with Bitpay?
I read a little bit about it.
So Bitpay, for those that don't know, Bitpay is basically like a payment processor, or like your PayPal, for example, or Stripe, or Square, or something of that nature, but in the form of cryptocurrency. So Google partnering with it does bring that mainstream adoption to light. You know what I mean? Bloomberg reported on that yesterday, and saying that how they'll be able to store assets in digital cards, which is, I mean, that's very innovative.
That's what Ledger's
also,
doing, right?
Yep, pretty much. Also Facebook and Instagram both talk. Well, I mean, Facebook and Instagram, same thing, but they said yesterday that they're creating a platform now that people will be able to create, display, and sell NFTs within Insta and Facebook. Whoa. Which is bringing even more mainstream adoption. I was in an AMA listening to that yesterday. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, in that thing that in the documents you sent me, one thing I read through it, and one of the things that stuck out to me was banks are starting to look at creating almost like being exchanges, like on creating platforms and being able to allow people to buy and sell cryptocurrency through banks.
Yeah, and the other way around as well. Some cryptos are some cryptocurrency exchanges are trying to become banks.
Really?
Yeah, like I know Kraken. Kraken is my favorite exchange by far. Kraken has a bank charter. Like you can send wires to and from Kraken quite easily. They have all your banking history, everything like that within their platform. Uphold, for example, is also another one close to it, but I'm pretty sure some of these exchanges, such as, for example, Coinbase, maybe FTX, will probably try and become a bank at some point. Some of these cryptocurrency companies can be as well. Like I can see Ripple becoming a bank after the case is done.
When do you think that's going to be?
I'm not even going to get into that, honestly. But hopefully,
I want to see it go to the moon.
Hopefully by the end of quarter one. Hopefully.
Oh wow! So okay, so you have a short time frame. So I just want to see it go to the moon, like right now.
$7 to $13. That's what I predict. So we'll see.
I don't know if you saw this or listened to this podcast, Impulsive, or even saw the headlines. Did you see that he bought a Pokemon box? He bought a huge box full of first edition Pokemon boxes for $3.5 million.
What?
And he opened it and it was fake.
That's tough.
So he got scammed for $3.5 million. And I listened to his podcast and he was talking about it. Obviously, he was really upset. But one of the things that he said that stuck out to me was the need for verification of products of like digitally has never seemed more important to him than at that moment, because he just got scammed. And with NFTs, it's a way to verify those things. So like he wouldn't have got scammed if NFTs were used as verification.
100%.
So it's just very interesting. Like we could use NFTs to verify like physical products in the real world. And, that could change the whole industry of like verifying collectibles or sports stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
No, for sure. But that's where the space is going, though. I mean, like I said, NFTs right now in their infancy don't really mean that much to me. Yeah, you can flip money and make some money. Cool. But where it's going to go, like I said, like your IDs, your passports, anything to do with identification, and like you said, verification is where NFTs are going to grow to.
Or like anything that's a ticket. Anytime you need a wristband, anytime you need a stamp, any of that stuff will all be NFTs for sure.
I feel like at some point, like your driver's license, you're not going to carry around a physical driver's license anymore. You'll probably put it in your wallet in your phone and be like, oh, here, scan this.
Yeah, it will be that for sure. there's so many companies getting into NFTs right now. Also, I know we talk about them all the time, but I just feel like every all these companies getting into the metaverse, getting into NFTs, getting into Web3 in some way. Each company's doing it a little differently. They're all seeing everything happen so fast around us. Web3 and all this stuff, it just came around and it is sweeping the world like crazy. And they're it seems like all these companies are kind of panicking and trying to figure out how to get involved somehow. And it's kind of scattered at the moment, but going into the future, 5-10 years down the line, it's going to become a lot more organized and people are going to figure out how to navigate the space a lot better, just like they have with the internet right now, and
sure.
websites and web 2.
Well, I mean, like a lot of these places have to break out of that old money mindset. I mean, the company, like the bigger companies, so like your Walmarts, your like big banks and those kind of guys, like they all have that stuff already figured out. It's more like, like the smaller companies that are now like following what the bigger companies are doing and trying to get themselves in place to not, like feel the burn of the change of the system.
Yeah.
But like even yesterday, I was in a Ledger AMA just listening, and there was people in there talking about like NFT integration and metaverse and where the world's going. So there is this girl, she's 14, bro, 14. She makes VR AR work out like artwork in the metaverse in a digital store. Bro,
that's insane. She's 14.
Like 14. But I mean, I'm thinking about it, right? Like you have so many artists around the place that like, they don't know what direction to go. And like, they're painting on canvases and trying to get commissions and stuff like that. But this is like a way forward. Like I brought someone close to me into one of these AMAs yesterday with me. And like it just opened their eyes, because think about this, like as an artist now, you can create a digital store in an upcoming market. It's going to take off. Just like how you and I were talking about, like if you were to buy a property in a metaverse in a high street kind of area, like it's gonna make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting. Like the possibilities are endless. If you could have all sorts of jobs in the metaverse that you could work. Yeah, that's just, I feel like the possibilities are absolutely endless. Like art is one. That's crazy to me that you could basically go into a virtual world and paint or make like art, and someone will pay you for it that lives in the metaverse.
I know, right?
I saw on Walmart's thing when I was reading about them that they're going to start selling virtual stuff too. So like even home decorations in the metaverse, like Walmart will end up selling that stuff, or electronics. Think about that. You can sell a TV in the metaverse to somebody,
well,
and make real money.
All those things are going to be in the form of basically, I think like an NFT within that platform, for example. Like I keep using this as the best reference because it really is. It's like real life GTA. Like when you have an apartment in Grand Theft Auto or whatever, like you have nice ass apartments. Like you can make a smoothie in your apartment. You can smoke a bong in your apartment. You can drink some alcohol in your apartment.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Side note, this is like funny. I used to make my character drink as much like wine as possible. And like when he starts to run, he starts spitting. And then eventually he'll drop if he gets too drunk. But anyways, it's something like that. And probably the same thing with buying cars in the metaverse. You'll be able to have a garage and buy whatever kind of car you want. And yeah, like for sure it's going to cost money because you're spending your real money. It's just GTA brought to life.
Okay, well, yeah, but here's the question. In GTA, you can go hook up with a prostitute and then punch her and steal her car and then go shoot somebody. What happens when you do that in the metaverse?
Okay, that's not a question for me, but like,
what happens? Is there going to be a bunch of police in the metaverse? They're going to have to go and so like
probably.
Whenever you put your headset on, you're just going to have to wait.
well, that's the thing though. Like, it depends. Oh my gosh, it depends on like like how far this thing goes. Like, I mean, in its infancy, no, it'll be like it's just like an interactive like play around kind of thing. But like you're not carrying guns in the metaverse and stuff like that right now at the moment. You know what I mean?
Like you can't
Like
punch
there's a
people.
lot you can. There's a lot of funny videos, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's a ton of funny videos in the metaverse, but and there's a lot of creeps in there. Don't get me wrong. But like if regulation comes to the metaverse, when regulation comes to the metaverse, for example, if Elon's Neuralink, when that becomes live in the metaverse, that's like your consciousness is now a part of that metaverse. So at that point, like if anything were to happen to you in that world, it'll most likely happen to you in real life. Because I mean, it will affect your brain in the same way. Because in a sense, you're connected to it.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to die in the metaverse, you're gonna die in real life.
That would be
Like
oh
that's the
gosh.
crazy part to think about. Like so I mean, I can only imagine like it's something movie like, bro.
Yeah.
It's very crazy to think about, but yeah, it is very, very movie like I said, right now it's still in its infancy, but when it elevates itself to that next level, then yeah, probably we'll have governments in the metaverse and everything at some point.
Oh
Like
my gosh. Who
be
do you
some
think's gonna
crazy shit.
win? Who do you think's gonna win the battle of the metaverse? Like, or do you think there'll be a bunch of different ones?
I
Like
think there'll be
Facebook's trying to create a metaverse, and Sandbox has a real estate metaverse, and there's a bunch of
well,
them.
they'll probably be interoperable or however the fuck you say that, but they'll probably all be compatible with each other. I don't think there's going to be many though. It'll probably be like a handful of them, but you'll probably have tiers of metaverses as well, like high-end metaverse where you have like your super rich famous celebrities, all those people live in this metaverse. Then you have a metaverse for like normal people, metaverse for whatever. So I don't think you'll have like
You think there's gonna be
just
like
one.
a famous person's metaverse? That would be so cool.
I don't think there'll be like one famous person metaverse. I think that there'll be a metaverse where like it'll just have all those high profile people within it.
That's so, and then they're gonna be like, if you buy my NFT, you can come into our metaverse for a day
Exactly.
and meet
You
me.
can come to one. You can come to one of my parties,
And they're
or
all gonna
whatever.
get richer.
All right, guys. So I wanted to bring this topic up before I forgot, and it's very, very important, which is why I needed to bring it up. It's about safety in this space. So Paul and I were just talking about this off camera for a little bit. Crypto.com had a ton of their accounts hacked. And there's a saying that I've said before, not your keys, not your crypto, meaning that if you keep all of your crypto on the exchange, it's not 1000% protected. Like myself, I like the Ledger device. It's a hardware wallet. Even if you were to get a hot wallet, it's still better than keeping your crypto on the exchange, because exchanges are more targeted than hot wallets and obviously cold wallets. Now, also another thing I would say is don't be the person that talks about your holdings online, because then you also become a target. It's really not that hard to track someone's IP address and find out where you are. So don't be the kind of person to be like, yo, I lost this much amount of crypto, or yo, I made this much amount of crypto, because you will become a target. There's too many stories of people that random people on the internet just track them down, find them. And I mean, I don't need to say any more after that, but there's many, many stories about that kind of stuff, because you feel the need to show off. It's not worth it. Honestly, the best thing to do is to keep that kind of stuff private. But getting yourself a Ledger, decent wallet, a Trezor, is also very good. Those are hardware wallets. Decent is a biometric wallet, so fingerprint. Ledger has a 24 word seed phrase that you write down, and then you create a PIN, so on and so forth. You can send your crypto from the exchanges to these devices, and then you hold your private keys. And so you're basically in control of your crypto. There's also hot wallets. So you have Trust Wallet. Even Coinbase's wallet is separate from Coinbase's main exchange. Crypto.com also has a DeFi wallet and a separate wallet as well. So those are separate from the exchange. Those are things, Atomic Wallet, for example, Exodus Wallet. Like there's really good choices to choose from. That's something that you guys, if you guys are getting into the world of crypto, that you should pay attention to and should look into just to secure your assets. Because I mean, nothing's going to hurt worse than you grinding away for the last couple of years and then boom, someone hacks your crypto, and then, you know, you don't want to open up your balance to see that you don't have anymore.
Yeah. Not sponsored, but I highly recommend Ledger. Unless Ledger, if you're listening, you should sponsor us. But
There will
Ledger's
be
been
an
great.
affiliate. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yep,
Ledger's
for
been
sure.
great. Yeah, there's an affiliate. He has an affiliate link. If you guys do pick up a Ledger, if you go to our about section, there's a link there that says get a Ledger. Just click on that and buy yours.
Go straight to their website. It just makes life easy.
Yeah, and if you do buy a Ledger or any hardware wallets, make sure you buy it directly from them in their website. Do not buy it from a third party or anywhere else. But yeah, crypto.com got hacked. I was looking at all the comments on their posts, like so many people's like Bitcoin got stolen and all their investment because they didn't know any better and they kept it on exchanges. Yeah, it's just really important to, at the very minimum, you know, keep it in you know, is a software wallet, is that what it's called? Like
yeah, it's a soft wallet, hot wallet, same thing.
yeah, there's wallets that are online basically, and then there's like hardware wallets, a cold wallet, which is what a Ledger would be. They make the whole process really easy of moving crypto, and with the Ledger it's really simple. So yeah, would highly recommend it. So since we were talking about security, and it reminded me of when Logan Paul had his Pokemon card stolen, he also talked about some NFTs that he bought. And he bought 42 World of Women. Have you heard of the World of Women NFT collection?
No.
So the World of Women NFT collection is a completely women-owned NFT brand, and they're in support of women, and it's kind of just like a, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's a brand dedicated to women is a good way to describe it. And so they released this NFT collection, and he bought 42 of them for $800,000 total.
Jeez.
And he just sold one of them for $800,000. So now he has 41 of them just in the money, and the floor of them now is over $1 million.
That's crazy.
Or not the floor, but the ones that he has are about $1 million.
Okay.
So he's
That's crazy.
got probably anywhere from 30 to like 40 million or so dollars worth of NFTs that he's made just from that collection, which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
It is super insane. And in the world of NFTs, and Bored Apes just became the most expensive NFT collection. They passed CryptoPunks, which for a first. Yeah. So not that it's extremely important, but just to update on, you know, what's happening in the world of NFT land. Not that anyone pays attention to NFTs anyways.
Yeah, why would you ever? NFTs are stupid.
Would you ever put a little bit of money and try to flip some NFTs?
Honestly, if I had the time, yeah, probably. But like anyone that asks me, because I do have people that ask me this question all the time. Personally, this is just me. I would only try and flip NFTs that I can get on the whitelist and get it at pre-sale. If I can get it at pre-sale, 100% every time. Because I do own NFTs. I own a few, but every one of them that I've owned, I managed to get them at a pre-sale price. So yeah, if I sell them, I'll be in the green regardless.
Are all of yours in the green?
Right now, yeah. The ones that I do own.
Jeez, you're the only one. You're the only one I know.
It's just because I minted them at such a like okay, I'm good at research.
Like 0.02
you know that,
or something. 0.06.
Like some of them, yeah. I have a lot of ones built on Solana though.
Oh, okay.
But like you know me, I'm really good at researching and I pay attention. So like I'll find projects, or like some of my like family will like send me projects to look at, and I'll be like, oh, this is sick. I didn't see it. And then like when I look at the pre-mint price, I'm like, yo, this is nice. And I know the floor is going to be a lot higher than what we bought it at. Right. So I just end up selling it. Like I have a couple rare NFTs right now from a collection, and I'm just gonna hold them for a while because it'll get more rare over time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
I
we'll see.
considered taking a little bit of money and just trying to flip some NFTs, but it just seems too risky. I'm not willing to risk it right now.
The thing is, it's for me, like what you would have to do is go into the big, like, the blue chip collections, then I guess, if you want to put it that way, and find ones that are ridiculously cheap. That's probably what you would have to do, and then try and flip those, or do research on new artists coming out. Like, for example, I found an artist that does commissions for Marvel, and he just started making NFTs. So he didn't have much of a following, but now he does all of a sudden. Like, I started following him when he had like 5K subs. Now he has something like 50, 60, and he's growing and growing and growing. So obviously now the prices for his projects are going to be a lot more expensive than when he was at 6K.
Yeah.
So like, I have 2 of his NFTs that I got at I got them at point 0.3 Ethereum, and right now I could sell them for 1.5.
Oh, jeez.
But
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
hold
super
them.
good.
I'm gonna hold them longer because he works for Marvel. So the more that this space grows, is the more these things are gonna be worth, because he's gonna get bigger and bigger, and people are gonna want to get some of his early works. You know what I mean?
Mhm. For sure.
And no, I'm not gonna tell anyone who it is. So don't even ask. Don't even ask.
All right. Well, that was episode 9. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram and TikTok. Let us know if you have any questions or any topics you want us to talk about. We will absolutely talk about them. Just make sure you comment and thumbs up the video. Yeah, we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.